Shri Akal students, today we are going to discuss about so many basic things. Let's talk about first what is a line segment and what is a ray. Students, as it is mentioned here, a portion of a line. Let's say I'm having a line here. This is line. I can name this line as AB. A small portion of this line may be from here till here. This portion is known as line segment, right? It has two endpoints, let's say C and D are the endpoints. In fact, AB is also a line segment and CD is also a line segment. Now, see, a line segment has two endpoints, but students, imagine if I have this line and this line, if I have this line and students here you see that this line and the end point is not there, but one point end is defined. Let's say this end point is A, but the other end point is not defined, then this line is known as ray, which is very rightly said. Part of line with one endpoint is known as ray. Obviously, this line is a part of the line because the line possibly was extended here also. We have cut that portion and we have taken only this part of line with one endpoint A and the other endpoint is not defined. It's an arrow. Arrow means it's extending towards infinity, but this end is not extending towards infinity. That's a difference between line and array. Now, if three or more points lie on the same line, now we talk about collinear and non-collinear points. See students, collinear points. Students, let's say I'm having a line. So this is a line segment, or maybe it's a line. Okay, if it's a line, you could draw the line like this. You could represent it like this, or simply even without arrows, you could say this is a line. Now, let's say students, we have 1, 2, 3 points on this line, or this line segment. Let's say these points are A, B, and C. Now these points, because they are lying on the same line segment or line, these are known as collinear points. So students, always 3 points need not be collinear. Maybe these 2 points are lying on a line segment and C is lying on other line segment. Now these 3 points are not collinear. So, but student, very interesting. When you talk about only 2 points, they are always collinear because 2 points will always lie on a line. You cannot talk about any 2 points which don't lie on any line. So some or the other line will be there which will connect 2 points. But when you talk about 3 or 4 points, the case is not the same. So these are collinear points and these are non-collinear points. Very right. Let's go further, students. Now we're going to talk about what is the angle. What is the angle? Students, an angle is formed when 2 rays originate from same end point. Very interesting. See, when 2 rays originate from same end point. So this is the end point of one ray, right? And the origin point is same and this is another ray. Now, an angle is formed when two rays originate from same endpoint. Now, what is the angle form, students? This is the angle form. We can name this angle as theta, which is a Greek letter. We can name it x, y, or z also, because these are variables. Theta is also variable. It can be any angle, 0, 90, 270, any angle. Now, also students, I will tell you that suppose we have y-axis and x-axis. Suppose I want to measure an angle here. It is accepted all over the world that angle is taken from positive x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction. This angle is positive angle. Students, let's say here, if I represent angle by theta, and let's say it's 60 degrees, so I will say theta is equal to 60 degree. Remember students, if you by chance take the angle in the clockwise direction from positive x-axis, remember it will be a negative angle. Let's say the magnitude is 60. You will say theta is equal to minus 60 degree. So now students, can you tell me what is this angle? Any student? Taken in the clockwise direction? Any?
10 minus 90 degree.
Perfectly right. This is minus 90 degree. Remember, all across the world, angle is always taken in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant, right? So once again, let's coming back to what is the angle, students. Angle is the origin point can be named as A. Angle is formed, you should remember it, when two rays, these are two rays, when two rays originate from same end point. Now students, angle can be 0 degree also. Then how we will justify this? We can, you see, this is our first ray, right students? And from the same origin point, from the same origin point, this is our second ray. Now in this case, students, what is our angle? Interestingly, in this case, our angle theta is how much? The angle between the two lines?
0 degree.
0 degree.
0
0
degree.
degree.
Units, like you say, when you talk about units, this will help you learn physics better. Always stay in units. Whenever you want to say something, say in units. So theta is 0 degree. And then you see students, you have one ray, and let's say you have another ray exactly in the opposite direction. So this angle formed is how much, students? Making it a straight line. This is
180 degree.
180 degree.
But the angle is always taken anti-clockwise. Always remember, anti-clockwise. All right, fine. So now what is the vortex? The rays making an angle. These are the rays. Let's say this ray is L, this ray is M. The rays, students, you have to watch the complete video to understand every possible thing about types of angles, you know, how the angles help us in understanding trigonometry, triangles, everything. You have to see the complete video, because all these things, what I'm saying, they are interrelated, right? So we have two rays, L and M. Rays making an angle are called arms of angle. So this is arm 1 and this is arm 2. Like these are the bahe of the angles. Between the bahe, between the baju, the angle is there, theta. The rays making an angle are called arms of angle, and the end point is called vertex of the angle. So A, which is the origin, is also known as, students, vertex of which angle? Here the angle is named as theta. The angle is named as theta. Or
Theta.
now students will quickly go for what is acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle, straight angle, and reflex angle. All right. So now first we talk about what is acute angle. Students, now how do we draw the angle? You know that first we have to draw a ray, right? From the vertex or from the origin, we have to draw another ray, right students? Now the angle formed as acute angle in case this angle is less than 90 degree and it is more than 0 degree. So students, to understand these things better, let's draw a circle. Here we have a circle, and let's say we draw y-axis and we draw x-axis also on this circle. So students, if you see the angle which is slightly more than 0 degree, this is x-axis. So any angle, if I draw any ray considering origin as the vertex of angle or the starting point of angle, if I draw a ray on x-axis, the angle will be 0. And let's see if I draw a ray here, I have an angle. Now I increase the angle. Now I further increase the angle and it is slightly close to 90 degree. So any angle which is slightly less than 90 degree, students see here, slightly less than 90 degree and slightly more than 0 degree. I'm not touching x-axis. By mistake I touched it. I'm not touching y-axis. So this angle is my acute angle. And what is obtuse angle, students? So acute angle is, let's say I represent this angle by theta. So it is theta is more than 0. More than theta is more than 0 but less than 90 degree.
90.
See students, the you cannot say here equal to 0 or equal to 90. All right, so theta lies between 0 and 90. Then it is known as what? Acute angle. Am I right? Acute angle.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's say students, this point is A, and let's say this point is B on y-axis. A, O, B. Now, the second thing is, before defining obtuse angle, we will define right angle. Right angle. What is the right angle, students? When this acute angle touches the y-axis, this other ray, one ray, let's say, is little above x-axis, and other ray when touches y-axis, and this ray is also on the x-axis, right? This is one ray, and the other ray is on exactly y-axis. The angle so formed is known as right angle. Students, this angle is always represented like this, like a half square. Half square means it's a right angle. Right angle means angle which is 90 degree is known as right angle. How do we represent this angle? So let's say this ray is OA and this ray is OB. Let's say not this point, but this point is B. So angle AOB. This is how we represent the angle is equal to 90 degree. We can also say angle BOA is equal to 90 degree. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Right? Right. So this is right angle. Now students, what is obtuse angle? If the angle is slightly more than 90 but slightly less than 180, it is known as obtuse angle. So obtuse angle is slightly more than 90 degree but slightly less than 180 degree. Right students? This is the obtuse
Yes.
angle. So you can say angle, obtuse angle is lying in the second quadrant, and the acute angle is lying in the which quadrant? Acute angle is lying in the
Eight.
Second.
first quadrant.
First quadrant.
Quadrant.
Angle, and now we have reflex angle. All right, students. Now, what is a straight angle? Simply, students, angle 180 degree is known as straight angle. Now, how do we draw the angles? We already know. First, we will draw a ray from the origin. We will draw another ray. We will draw this ray so that this both the end. Let's say I name 2 points on the ray, and let's say, students, those points are let's say A, and this was the origin O, and let's say B. AOB must be a straight line. If this is the case, if AOB is a straight line, the angle formed, again I'll take is anti-clockwise. This is known as straight angle, which is equal to what? 180 degrees. So how will represent angle AOB is a straight angle is equal to 180 degree. Right, students? Now what was left? After straight angle, we had reflex angle. Oh, very important. Now what is a reflex angle? Now, students, you see, imagine if I have, so see, students, let's say we have some angle. Let's say the angle is what do you say is theta. So we want to find the reflex of this angle. Let's say theta is equal to 80 degree. Now, what will be reflex of this theta? So reflex, angle for theta would be, can anyone tell? So it will be 360 minus 80. So that will be how much? Tell me, students. Will be
280
280. So this is the
degree.
reflex of 80 degree. This is the reflex of 80 degree. Now, students, you can say, let's say this is the angle. This angle is theta. So what will be reflex of theta? It will be this angle. This angle is
360 degrees.
of theta. So it will be total angle is, you see, students, whenever you draw like this, say you draw a circle, what is the complete angle? The complete angle is 360 degree. You also call it 2 pi radians, or simply say 360 degree, right? So 360 degree minus theta is the reflex of theta. All right. Now here one important thing is there, students. The reflex. So students, one thing you will like, you should remember that reflex, let's say reflex angle is represented by T. It will be always in between 180 and 360 degree. Reflex angle cannot be between 0 degree to 180 degree. You must remember this. Reflex angle is always between, so for all these angles from 0 to 180, we will find the reflex angle 180 to 360, right? The reflex angle is not possible between 0 and 180 degree. So this is the range of reflex angles. Angle, range of reflex angles, right, students? So now we go to what is pairs of angle. So students, we have different pairs of angles. One is complementary angles. Let's say we have angle A and angle B. If that is equal to 90 degree, angle A and angle B are known as complementary angles. For example, let's say this is a right angle. So if I draw a line, let's say this angle is theta 1 and this angle is theta 2, or I name this angle as A and this angle is B. So I can say the sum of these two angles, theta 1 and theta 2 is always equal to 90 degree. Now theta 1 and theta 2 are complementary angles. So students, if you know one angle x, what will be complementary of this angle? It will be 90 minus x. Why? Because this and this, when you add x cancels, the addition is equal to 90 degree. Now next is students, what is supplementary angles? Very simple. Draw a straight line, cut it with a line segment. Let's say this angle is angle A and this angle is angle A, B. If the sum of two angles is equal to a straight angle, that is 180 degree, these two angles are known as, students, supplementary angles. So you can say, if you know one supplementary angle x, what will be other supplementary angle? It will be 180 minus x. Beautiful. So we have covered supplementary angles also. Then comes adjacent angles. Students, what are adjacent angles? So let's say, students, we have three angles, right? This angle is 1, this angle is 2, this angle is 3. So the angles which are side by side, angle 1 and angle 2 and angle 2 and angle 3, both these pairs are known as adjacent angles. It is worth noting, students, angle 1 and 3 are not adjacent angles. Angles which have a common arm. Angles which have a, what is this? This ray is known as arm. Arm 1, arm 2, arm 1, arm 2. So two angles having a common arm are known as adjacent angles. Then comes linear pair of angles. So students, before that we can do what are vertically opposite angles. Very simple, students. If you draw two line segments, we have two pairs of angles, 1 and 2, and other pair of equal angles, 3 and 4. Students, angle 3 is equal to angle 4, angle 1 is equal to angle 2, angle 1 and 2, angle 3 and 4 are known as vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles. Am I right, students? These are known as vertically
Opposite angles.
opposite angles. All right.